Okay, well, now that I'm on the bike and really taking to it again like a duck to water. Well, I must admit the gear change is very, very smooth in comparison to my 1250, that is, of course. So this whole actuator thing is definitely a lot smoother mechanism. So now I'm third, fourth, absolutely smooth. So definitely I think I'm sold on this actuator thing. Let's go down. There, look, nothing. The bike didn't jerk or do anything. Going up again. Beautiful. Absolutely no problems. I'm reaching for the clutch. No clutch. And flickability in comparison to my 1250 GSA, this is a lot more flickable. The weight is I don't know, I presume it is a bit lighter, or maybe it is further distributed to the bottom, doesn't have the whole bulk of the tank and all the upper pylons on my GSA. But this is definitely a lot flickable, very light. So at the moment I'm in manual mode and just going up the gears, down the gears. Oh, easy peasy, no clunkiness. Now let the engine do the work. Yeah, so when I picked this up, I thought it's going to take me a little while to get used to it. But literally, half a mile down the road, a mile down the road, I felt really at home with this. So a very easy bike to get on with. I mean, yeah, this new gearbox and the quick shift and the automatic shift definitely is a big feature of this bike. And so the original one, the first release, which didn't have this ASA mechanism in there, I wasn't absolutely 100% on board with this bike. So let's start from third. So lovely power delivery there. The acceleration is smooth. And that gear change, absolutely smooth. And I tell you what, we'll see later. When you actually put it into automatic mode, the gear changes are a lot smoother than what I'm doing. So it is possible to do really smooth gear changes if you get the timing right. I don't know, get the throttle right, the acceleration right, do it at the right time. See this, there's a teeny tiny little jerk, little bump in it when you're accelerating hard and going up the gears. I'm not saying it's anything to worry about, nothing sort of problem, but you do feel it. But when you're doing that in ASA mode, it's even less than that. You just don't feel anything at all. Yeah, the delivery of the power is lovely. Lovely power. Smooth. There's plenty of it. Plenty of it. Plenty of it. Reaching for the clutch again. Took a second for the engine to kick in there on the turn, or maybe it was just me, a bit late on the throttle. I'm a bit apprehensive with not having a clutch, not knowing when the engine's going to bite, if you get what I mean. I suppose that's something you get used to. So I think that's what happened on that bend there. I was expecting the engine to kick in sooner than it did because I wasn't giving it enough throttle, because I couldn't get the feedback through the clutch to know exactly what, it's biting, and then you know exactly you got the engine under your hand, if you get what I mean. I suppose that's something you get used to. You get to know this bike a lot better. I've only had it a couple of hours. Again, going down the gear, little blips. Smooth. I wasn't being jerked off. I said it. There's no jerkiness. So I'll put it into drive mode soon, and we'll see how it goes up and down in the gears automatically. There, blip, down, and into first. There we go, blips. Right, nobody coming. I say also the actual gear lever. It is just, as I say, an actuator, so there's no engine feedback on it like you get on the 1250, for example, where you do feel the clunk through the gear lever into your foot. Reaching for the clutch again. So yeah, pulling away is definitely a new experience with no clutch. And I got used to it pretty quick, but it's still you're not sure when it's going to kick in. When that's a fraction of a second, or a second as you're twisting the throttle, you're wondering, is it going to kick in now? Well, as I was saying, this is something you just get used to, I suppose. You get to know when and how responsive it is and where it's responsive. As for the engine, I mean, it's fine. I remember at the beginning people saying there's odd noises coming out of it. Well, I haven't experienced it on this bike. Certainly you get a bit of a saying a rattle, a tappet, a dulled tappet noise coming from the right hand side. But that could be just this bike needing a service and some tappets done. There's no complaints. The engine's lovely. there it goes, a little fraction of a second before the drive mechanism kicks in. There's a bit of a just something makes you go, is it, isn't it? Am I in gear? Is it going to do it? Just for that fraction of a second. Right, so we'll put it into drive mode. Where is it? Here we go. So it's in drive mode. Wait for clear traffic, I think. In case I'll make a fool of myself. Don't want to, I'm not saying have an audience, but I don't want to be in the front of something when I mess up. If I mess up. Right. So we're on drive mode. Nearly. Nothing windy on the way. No. There we go. Here we go. So yeah, so when you're accelerating hard, there's a little jerk in the gear changes, but nothing, you know, I personally like it because I think it's a bit of feedback saying I've changed gear. It goes down to third automatically. Even that's smooth. I was accelerating, but I wasn't giving it too much welly. And those gear changes were spot on, smooth, very nice. Down to fourth. Fourth, let's see, we want to open it up a bit. Let's see if it drops a gear. Right, here we go. Yeah, the moment I gave the throttle a good twist, it dropped a gear. It was pretty instant, back to fourth. So that was good. So if you need to get out of a little situation, or you need to overtake in a hurry, twisting the throttle will knock it down a gear, provided it needs to knock down a gear. It might already be in the right gear, but if it needs to, it will. So here I am in fourth. So I'll give it a little twist again. Bit of a jerk. But it did it. So there we go. It held it. It held for quite a bit. Fourth quite a bit. So from fifth. So you didn't need to change down there. Must have been just at the right speed. It didn't need to bump down at all. So sixth now, down to fifth. fourth, third. Yeah. So overall, I reckon I like this ASA gizmo. There's certainly another thing to play with. You know, you still have the option of sort of manual mode to kick it up and down. Will I miss the clutch? Initially, I'd say yes. I do miss the clutch a little bit, but I can imagine I got pretty used to it pretty soon with it not being there. Because I can imagine, I don't know what sort of scenario it would be where I need to slip the clutch to get out of a rut, or you know, going uphill, slow traffic sometimes. You know how we're used to, you know, slipping the clutch and the brake and everything, and will we lose that skill when this sort of technology becomes more widespread? You know, clutch, accelerator, brake, navigating a slow ride up a hill. Or is it just different tools now to do the same job? You know, so you got the hill assist to stop you rolling back. So, you know, you don't need to slip the clutch, because the moment that you twist, the engine will take over from the brake and off you go. So just different tools to achieve the same thing. Is one better than the other? Feedback is the only thing I can say with the clutch. You definitely feel more under control, that you're controlling the engine, and you got your hand on the teller, is that the word? From third, second, first. Yeah, the technology works. Notice on this bike, when it's idling like this, it has a little hiccup every 3 or 4 seconds. I don't know, for people who already have this bike or ASA, do you sometimes forget whether you're in manual mode or automatic mode and come up to a roundabout or traffic lights and you're in manual and not automatic? I can imagine that happening a few times at the beginning. saying, it seems to change gears way smoother than I'm doing on manual mode. So kind of so it makes me think, kind of how close could I get in manual mode to the smooth changes that it does. I don't know if there's anything to what's going through my mind at the moment. Is it because it knows it's going to change gear? Does it do something different as opposed to me manually surprising the engine with a gear change? I don't know if there's anything to that. You know, before automatic mode, before it actually changes gear, does it do something? You know, the throttle particularly I'm thinking about. It knows it's going to change gear. So it dips the throttle, increases the throttle, whatever, you know, and that to allow the gear change to be quicker and smoother, as opposed to me surprising it in manual mode. Up, down, up, all that. So yeah, as far as the headlight's concerned, I'm still not sold, but I don't find it as horrible as I initially did. So it looks like over time, you just get used to things, don't you? And now, yeah, it's not as horrible as it was, but I'm still not totally sold on it. Again, when it's in drive, that pulling away is a lot smoother than when it's in manual. I was saying there's like a fraction of a second of a delay when it's in manual. Automatic seems to be yeah, maybe it's just me. Thank you very much, driver. That's very nice. Where am I? I'm just behind Thruxton Racetrack. There's a lane to the north of it. That's where I am. Really smooth, these gear changes, when you're not giving it welly. The automatic is really smooth. Yeah, more dick with a bit of hard acceleration, you do feel a clunk, but it's teeny tiny. It's, I'm having to say something because I have to say something about it. Otherwise I wouldn't mention it. Yeah, lovely roads. Jeez. Engine brake is quite nice with the automatic. You're not getting any dive. You know, blips the engine just nice, so it's actually quite really smooth. Linear, is that the word? Deceleration. That last clunk, I heard it but I didn't feel it. So yeah, doing a maneuver like this, you know, I really would like to have a clutch so I can slip the clutch while doing a turning like that. A lovely little location. I thought I'll stop here and give my final thoughts on taking the 1300 standard out. So yeah, the trophy is very nice. I like the colour scheme on it. So, in summary, what do I think? Following from my initial video of my first impressions of the bike when it first came out, I think I have changed my mind. Yeah, I think I have. About the whole bike. I do like it now. It has grown on me. It's being out and about and seeing it on the roads, and I do like it. But it, you know, is it a GS? This one, I still don't think it's a GS as we know it from the 1250s. It's the next iteration, yes, but I think the GSA 1300 is more GS than this. By all means, riding this, I wouldn't say I'm riding a GS. This could easily be a road bike, a BMW road bike of some sort. But as a bike, I think it has won me over. I'm not saying 100%. The headlight is still... Come back in a couple of years, and I might say, yeah, it's okay. So 18 months, 2 years down the line, I have changed my mind from my initial thought and review of this bike. It has won me over. Now, would I buy one? No. Don't get me wrong, if you give it to me, I'll take it, I'll snap your hand off. But would I buy one? No, I'd go for the GS Adventure. That to me is more GS, and that's kind of what floats my boat. But this has won me over. Is it the engine? Absolutely, I think that's the main thing. the engine on that gearbox and the ASA is definitely what's swung it for me. Yeah, so I think I will say that I no longer on the fence with the GS 1300 standard, if that's what we want to call it. It's definitely a thumbs up for me, especially with the ASA. The manual and the drive features on that I've thoroughly enjoyed that. And not having a clutch, yes, I have been grabbing fresh air these last few hours. But has it caused me problems? No. I just had to stay conscious that I'm in manual mode, no clutch or drive mode. Yeah, so as for the rest of the bike, I'm not sure about this electric luggage business. Okay, it's more ways of selling your stuff, fair enough. The whole radar thing, the whole light in the mirror thing, absolutely. I think I mentioned that in the previous video, that is one feature, safety feature I really like. And I'm glad you can buy the kits to put it on other bikes. As a safety feature, I think it's brilliant. The cruise control radar thing, yeah, I find it worked. So as I said, it does what it says on the tin. Do I want it? Yeah, nice to have, put it on the nice to have. But standard cruise control is fine with me. I'm not the sort of person who's not paying attention to what goes on between, but I am sure that people will say, well, there'll be that one day when you're not, and it'll reduce speed and save your life, which is fair enough, fair point. So yeah, I really like this bike now. But as I said, would I buy one? No, because I prefer the adventure. Had there not been an adventure, would I have bought this? Difficult. Since I'm saying difficult, the answer would probably be no. Because I'd want to buy a bike that I'm absolutely chomping at the bit to buy, like my 1250. It's I really wanted that bike for a number of years, and eventually got it. Really happy with it. Do I regret buying that and not this? No, certainly not. Because at the time when I was looking at this, I was on the fence, but I wasn't with the 1250, so I went for the 1250. But now time has gone by, and riding this with the ASA is definitely a game changer. So I'm going to say I'll sign off here, and hope you like my revised review of the BMW R1300 GS. Standard, if that's the word. So, please subscribe to the channel if you want to. Click that like button on this video, and tinkle that bell to be alerted next time I post something. And I'm hoping the bill from Barnstormer for servicing my 1250 is going to be a gentle bill within expectations and no surprises. Well, okay. I'll sign off now. Ride safe, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.